In this lesson, we're going to take a look at using paradiddles in a funk or rock groove to give you some ideas and inspiration about how you can play with those accented and unaccented notes that we've talked about in a previous lesson. Okay? Taking a look at this piece of notation here, we can see how paradiddles would be written for a drummer as drum music. We've got notes here and the sticking below. Left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right. These little angled brackets up here are the accents. We play those notes louder than all the others. So playing paradiddles along with the metronome on the snare drum would sound like this. Now let's move the left hand to the hi-hat and play just a simple kick drum pattern on 1 and 3 and play that same sticking notation with the accents, hi-hat closed tightly, and play with a lot of control. Okay? Pause the video and practice that for a little bit. Make it nice and smooth. Alright, welcome back. Now, let's kick the tempo up a little bit. See how that might sound in a funk pattern. Or even faster, like this. Paradiddles work as a great way to give you a 16th note, kind of an undercurrent beneath your basic rock. They sound much better, more interesting than this, because you've got the two different sounds happening between hi-hat and snare drum. In this next exercise, we're going to slide the paradiddle 2 notes to the left, taking these 2 notes and pushing them off to the left so that they actually loop back around to the end, and taking this paradiddle here, right, left, right, right, and it'll end up here. So here it is written. Okay, so we've got the last 2 notes from the first paradiddle, left, left, then another paradiddle, right, left, right, right, and then the first 2 notes from the first paradiddle over here at the end, left, right. So we're basically just shifting the whole thing down a little bit. Right? It's still the same hand pattern, but you're starting it on a different note. Here is the starting note from the last time, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right. Okay? And this still lets you accent the hi-hat with the left hand on the downbeat and the snare drum on the right hand on the downbeat or the beginning note of this, this group of 4 notes as well. So we're basically starting the paradiddle pattern on a different note, something like this. Left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right. And then moving that up to the hi-hat and snare drum, we could have it sound like this. Take a minute and practice that pattern. Pause the video, come back when you're ready. In an earlier lesson we looked at flams as well, and so now we're going to involve flams into these paradiddle patterns. Remember, this is how a flam gets notated. A little grace note is placed before the main note to indicate a flam. The grace note in this case is being sticked with the left stick, the main note played with the right stick. So this would be called a right hand flam because the right hand is playing the main or louder note. I put an accent over the main note just to remind us that that's the loud one. Likewise, this is a left hand flam because the grace note's being played with the right hand, but the main note's being played with the left hand. Here's a right hand flam where the right hand's playing the loud note. Likewise, a left-hand flam where the left hand is playing the loud note. Okay, flam, flam. Practice your flams. Take a minute, pause the video, then come back. Alright? Now, there's another rudiment called a flamadiddle, where you mix in a flam into a paradiddle-like pattern. You can see it notated here. The flamadiddles are on the bottom, here, and here's the pattern we were just doing. This was that paradiddle where we had offset the paradiddle a couple of notes. Look at the similarities. It's the same sticking pattern, left, left, right, right, left, right, but we're just adding a flam on the first note of each grouping, here and here. Let's take it really slow. Now we'll move it up to the hi-hat. When you're playing flams between hi-hat and snare drum, you probably wanted to hit them at the same time rather than falam, falam. So it's more like a double stop where you're playing the notes at the same time. The idea is that you are increasing kind of the busyness and the texture of what's going on. Here we go. Real slow again. Okay, now let's take it a little more up to speed. Actually, pause the video and practice that at that slow tempo until you get it nice and smooth. Now, let's hear it a little more up to speed. Okay, and a little more. And a little bit faster still. So it's a really interesting texture and pattern that's going on when you get these flams involved into your paradiddles. These last couple of exercises just move the flam into a little bit different location. So here we've got normal paradiddle sticking, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, but we're just inserting a flam on the third note of each group. Here, a grace note with the right hand, and a main stroke with the left, and over here a grace note with the left hand and a main stroke with the right. Notice that there will be two rights in a row here, this note here, and then the grace note with the right. Likewise, there will be two lefts, this note here, and then a grace note with the left. So real slow on the snare drum. And then move it up to the hi-hat and snare. A little more up to speed. 2 and 3 and 4 and. A little faster. 2, 3, 4. And a little faster. Okay. Last one puts the flam in a different place altogether. Right, here we go on this one, real slow, with the accents. And then moving it up to the hi-hat, take it real slow, here we go. Okay, a little faster with the kick drum this time. Alright, now I brought my favorite guitar player along, my son Cole, to play a cool funky guitar riff, so you can see how these patterns will lay underneath and provide a cool kind of a 16th note undercurrent. Here we go. Pretty cool grooves.